You know when you're watching a K-drama, something like the absolute classic Dae Jang Geum, and you see the main character just know things with a single glance? It almost feels like they have a superpower, doesn't it? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and unlock the secrets behind that amazing intuition.
So what's the deal? Is it some kind of special skill or maybe a cultural sixth sense? That's the big mystery we're diving into. Think of us as cultural detectives, about to piece together all the clues hidden inside the Korean language and mindset.
All right, let's get this investigation started. And our first clue, it's something we can all get behind. Food. Believe it or not, the answer to this whole puzzle really does start right there on the dinner plate.
So in Korea, there's this really cool concept called Eumsik-Gunghap. Now, here's what's so interesting. The word kunap actually started out as a term for marital compatibility. You know, figuring out if a couple is a good match. But this idea is so central that it's also applied to food, creating this amazing concept of food chemistry. It's this deep belief that some ingredients just bring out the best in each other, while other combinations can actually be bad for you. Take honey and ginger, a total power couple, a classic combo for your health. But persimmons and crab? Oof, that's seen as a pretty dangerous pairing. It's all part of this deep-seated cultural wisdom about finding balance and harmony. Okay, so if there's this whole intricate system for harmony in food, what about when it comes to people? Well, our next clue takes us away from the dinner plate and into the much, much more complicated world of the human heart. And that brings us to the idea of saramsok, which literally translates to the inside of a person. There's this famous Korean proverb that goes, "The water is 10 meters deep, but a person's heart is deeper." It really gets at this idea that a person's true feelings and intentions can be incredibly, incredibly hard to figure out.
And this is where things get really fascinating. Because on the one hand, you've got saramsuk, this belief that the human heart is this huge mystery. But then on the other hand, you have this amazing confidence and intuition, perfectly captured in the phrase chok bomeon anda, which means to know something just at a glance. So here's the big question, right? This cultural tension. How can you possibly know someone in an instant if their heart is fundamentally unknowable? Well, the key to cracking this whole code is hidden in plain sight. It's right there in the language itself. So let's check out the grammatical tools that let characters like Dae Jang Geum navigate all these complex cultural ideas.
Okay, our first tool is the grammar form damyeon. You can think of this as the ultimate what-if structure. It's what you use to talk about hypothetical situations, things that are pretty unlikely but still possible.
Back in the drama, Jang Geum faces this super critical moment and she says, 만약 밝혀내지 못한다면, which means, if we cannot find out. I mean, you can just feel the tension and the sheer weight of that what if in her words. It's a perfect example of how the language handles these high-stakes, uncertain moments.
And using it is actually pretty simple. You just take a verb or an adjective and you attach damyeon to the end. It's a go-to for exploring all those possibilities and what-if scenarios, just like Jung Geum did. And honestly, you'll hear this all the time in real life. If you won the lottery, what would you do? Or maybe, if it rains tomorrow, I'm just going to stay home. It lets you kind of play with reality, thinking about different paths and outcomes.
Now, let's flip the script. We're going to go from that hypothetical what-if world to the world of certainty and duty. And for that, we use the form eoya dwae. This is the language of obligation, of the things that absolutely must be done. And this brings us to Jang Geum's most powerful line, 노력은 해봐야 돼. You must at least try. See, this isn't a suggestion. It's a flat-out declaration of necessity. It shows her incredible resolve and her spirit that just won't quit. It's the total opposite of a what-if. It's a must-do. The structure here is also really straightforward. You just take a verb stem and you add eoya dwae or eoya hada. That immediately tells you that something is a requirement, a strong necessity. This one is absolutely essential for everyday conversations. You must study Korean every day. You have to keep your appointment time. I have to leave now. It's super direct, it's clear, and it really communicates a sense of responsibility. Okay, detectives, it's time to put all of our clues together. How does food harmony, the unknowable heart, and these two grammar points solve our big mystery of how people know things at a glance? Check out this case file. When someone says pork belly and water parsley have great food chemistry, that's Eumsik-Gunghap. And when their friend says back, oh, you really know your stuff at a glance, that is chok bomeon anda in action. That insight comes from deep knowledge, and it's expressed with the necessity of dwae. To eat well, you have to know this much. It's not a superpower, it's wisdom. And that brings us full circle, right back to Jang Geum's core message. Gaining that kind of deep insight, whether it's about food or about people, it takes work. You have to watch and learn and connect the dots. Like she says, you must at least try. So next time you're watching a K-drama, keep an eye out for these clues. What combinations are people talking about? When are they talking about what must be done versus what might happen? What other cultural secrets are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for a detective like you to find them? Thanks for joining me.